1,000 points, the huge gains following that announcement by Pfizer this morning that its coronavirus vaccine candidate is 90% effective. Investors also reacting positively to news that Joe Biden is now the president-elect of the United States. Our business correspondent, Allison Cossack, tracking the markets from the stock exchange for us. Those are big numbers, Allison.
They are big numbers, John. And, just when you thought that it couldn't be much to overshadow who won the presidential race, well, then came the news from Pfizer about a viable COVID vaccine. That, as you can see, is sending stocks rocketing higher. I can't stress enough how critical it is a vaccine is to getting the economy back on track. That is what Wall Street is seeing. It is seeing this vaccine as a game changer. And now there's even talk about a post-COVID world where there's a prediction that we could see a snapback in the economy in 2021. Now, we did see stocks jumping before we got that news from Pfizer on Joe Biden's presidential victory. The investors that I'm talking to, they are okay with a Biden victory here because there wasn't a blue wave in Congress. We are looking at a GOP-controlled Senate, apparently, and a Democratic-controlled House. And the way Wall Street sees it is gridlock is good. A divided government is good. It puts those checks and balances into play, and it's less likely we'll see tax hikes and more regulation in healthcare and energy. And of course, there's a caveat with the Senate, as you know, John, that runoff race on January 5th in Georgia for those 2 Senate seats.
All right, Shalom. Call Loyum La. Allah Nawa Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles who labor faithfully in his truth, the true teachers of Israel today. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Habayath Madabadada, house of David. The brothers is laboring on the 4 corners of the earth to make their calling of election sure. To you I say shalom, peace, blessings, and salutations. And to the Akim and Akwafim who also listen and believe on Yahweh Shem Yahushai. To you I say shalom as well. So it's the brother Sagalah coming back with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear through the Rakak Wadash, the Holy Spirit. So we see the title of this article from CNN.com, and it's dated today, November the 9th, 2020. And it says, the title says, the Dow soars more than 800 points. It says, after Pfizer announces great news about its vaccine and Joe Biden declared victorious. So, the actual title of this lesson is going to be A Season of Peace and Safety. And this is part 1, and I'm working on a part 2 as well. So a season of peace and safety is what we're coming into. A season of peace and safety. We start off with my first precept. It's the book of 1 Thessalonians 5:1. And it reads, But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So the time we're coming into, once again, is a season of peace and safety. That being proclaimed with the victory of Joe Biden being nominated president-elect, of Babylon, the 46th president of Babylon, and then the news of the vaccine coming. All these things are part of that season of peace and safety. Now, there is no peace coming to this place. And let's get that. Because Yahushua said upon his coming, there will be no peace. And we are indeed, moving closer to the time of Jacob's trouble, which means consequently that we are coming closer to the time of Jacob's trouble, when all hell is going to break loose. All right. This is Matthew 10:34. This is the words of Yahushua, red letter, because this is a season of peace and safety that's being pushed. But the truth is that there won't be no peace. The scriptures tell us. and there won't be no peace to the wicked. The Bible also tells us. Matthew 10:34, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So Yahushua said he didn't come to bring peace. Upon his arrival, there wouldn't be peace. Jacob's trouble is not a time of peace. It's a time of anarchy and lawlessness and sedition. So, with the Dow soaring, and Biden being, nominated the new president of Babylon, and the vaccine, being in another stage where it's closer to being implemented, we see that the people are getting comfortable with the news that life could be going back to normal. But like the prophets have said, the prophets of doom have said, like we've said before, that there won't be no normal again. It's just going to go from one phase to another, because this is the time that Yahweh Shem Yahushua prophesied that he, was going to turn the world upside down and avenge his temple, his people. Thus saith the prophecies. When you read 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, it tells you that, this is the time where the highest is coming to visit the earth which he made. And how do we know that? By measuring the time diligently through the prophecies. So the chip being pushed, is one of the signs. Another sign is that the elector have awakened on the four corners of the earth, and 144,000 is awakening daily. The fact that Israel, we've already fallen away. When it speaks about in 2 Thessalonians 2nd chapter, the man of sin being revealed. All of these things are signs of the times that we're in, of the times of the seasons. So, this, proposed season of peace and safety, is not, is not so. So, when you go back to 1 Thessalonians, it said, when they shall say peace and safety, know that sudden destruction cometh nigh. Like a woman that travailed with a child. Now, why is that important? Let's get a few more precepts. Let's go to the book of Lamentations, the 1st chapter, and 17th verse. So this is the spirit that our people are in, which they are in the spirit of Babylon, spirit of America. Lamentations 1:17, Zion, which is another name for Israel, the monument. Israel is likened unto a monument to the Most High. Lamentations 1:17, Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. See, there's no one to comfort you, Jakes, because the only comforter is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Is this word, which is known as the comforter, that the Lord said he would send, and that would guide us and lead us. The comfort is in the scriptures. Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. There's no companion for Zion. There's no one that's going to give you any peace, because the truth is the only thing that's going to give you the peace, which is the word of the Most High. The word of the Most High is the only thing we have to lean on. So in the times of distress and trouble and recklessness and lawlessness and unrest, civil unrest, the true believers will, be in the spirit of Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of their times, and strength of salvation. That's going to be that's going to be it. It's going to be the wisdom and knowledge and understanding and the application thereof, which is the faith in the words of the Most High, which goes along with the fear. It says, and there is none to comfort her. The Lord Yahweh hath commanded concerning Jacob that his adversaries should be round about him. Jerusalem is a minstrous woman among them. So Jerusalem is like a minstrous woman amongst all these nations. And now in the rulership and it being in the hand of Babylon, meaning feeble, weak, and unable to defend itself. So there's none to comfort her. So that's the spirit that our people are in. Now, continuing on to further prove that the Dow surging, the vaccine, news of the vaccine, being, on track to come sometime in the year to come, 2021, Joe Biden being president, none of that is going to change prophecy. This is the book of Lamentations 4:17. As for us, and who is us? The children of Israel. As for us, the 12 tribes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help because our people continue to trust in oppression, as it says in Isaiah the 30th chapter. That our people trust in oppression. You know, they look for their oppressors to save them. It says, in our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. So Babylon and great America is not going to be able to save you out of the situation that you're in. Change your circumstances. It's only here to further oppress you and to push you, into taking the mark of the beast, which will make you one with the system and a part of the New World Order, and to be completely ostracized away from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, to be completely separated, And those that are separated from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua with that chip are going to be the same ones that's going to be destroyed in the lake of fire right here in Babylon. And that's a promise from the Most High in Revelation the 14th chapter. So it says, our eyes have failed for vain help, watching for a nation that could not save us. Babylon is not going to save you because Babylon can't save itself. Babylon can't be healed. So how can Babylon save, or secure its future if the Most High's will, his determination, is to destroy this place? The scriptures tell us that in the book of Zephaniah. The Lord's determination is to gather the nations, that he may pour out upon them his fury. So that's the battle of Armageddon. That's what's coming, because the signs show us for those that are occupied in prophecy. So Babylon, also known as America, is a nation that cannot save us. So putting our faith in Babylon will be to the detriment, of your own self. Further proof, Micah. Babylon can't save you Jakes. Micah 2:10, and it reads, more proof. Arise ye and depart from what? The ways of Babylon. As you read Revelation the 18th chapter, come out of her, my people. Arise ye and depart, or come out of her, my people, come out of the ways of Babylon. Because it says in Revelation 18 that you be not partakers of her sins and that you don't receive of her plagues. And what's the last of those plagues? First is the economic collapse and Jacob's trouble, civil unrest, civil war, and then the missiles. Those are the plagues that's going to come onto this place. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. See, there's not going to be no peace or rest here in Babylon. There's no rest for a slave because it is polluted. This place is polluted. Every institution and foundational piece of Babylon, every foundation and institution of it, every way of it, its laws, its people, all of its systems, it's all polluted. The food, the air, everything. It shall destroy you. See, when you are joined unto this place, it's going to destroy you. The scriptures also say that all those that are joined unto them shall be thrust through, even with the sword destruction. So you'll be sorely destroyed by trusting in oppression. But our people, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you believe in trust and oppression. So let's get it further, showing that the Dow Jones and whoever the president's going to be, and the actual vaccine, none of those things are going to change prophecy. Prophecy is still going to stand. So this season of peace and safety is an illusion to the people. To do what? To pacify them, to keep them in a drunken state. So Jake has been seduced, through the spirit. And Jake is in a heavy seduction. The scriptures tell us that our people are drunken, and they stagger, and they drunken, but not with wine. So that's spiritual seduction. So that's found also in the book of Ezekiel 13:10, and it reads, because they have seduced my people. When you read in Wisdom of Solomon, the 4th chapter, I believe in the 12th verse, it tells you that our people have been bewitched. Wisdom of Solomon 4:12. It says the bewitching of naughtiness, those obscure things that are honest. So that's the hearts of the people. So going back to Ezekiel 13:10, because they have seduced my people or bewitched them, means to put them under a spell. Our people are seduced, saying peace, and there was no peace. See, this is a sign of peace here for people. They're starting to breathe a little easier, believing, well, Trump is going to leave, Biden's going to come in and be the savior, and everything's going to be okay. That couldn't be further from the truth. And one built up a wall, and lo, others dabbed it with untempered mortar. And that untempered mortar is these different institutions and the ways of Babylon. It's this nation. It's like a wall with untempered mortar. That wall is going to fall. Meaning it wasn't constructed to stand. Because Yahweh Shah said, those that build their house on the rock, it will stand, and those that build their house on the sand, when the storms come, it will fall. So that's the untempered mortar. It's having faith in a system that's going to be destroyed. Verse 11, say unto them which dab it with untempered mortar, that it shall fall. There shall be an overflowing shower, and ye, O great hailstones, shall fall, and a stormy wind shall rend it. And that stormy wind, when you read Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, it talks about those winds of destruction. Those four winds that the angels are holding back in Revelation, the 7th chapter, speaking about, the nuclear destruction. And those great hailstones is going to be those missiles. So, the foundation of this place is going to fall because it's like untempered mortar. And those great hailstones is going to destroy Babylon the Great. Lo, when the wall is fallen, shall it not be said unto you, where is the dabbing wherewith ye have dabbed it? Verse 13, it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord, power, I will even rend it with a stormy wind in my fury. Those are the nuclear missiles. And there shall be an overflowing shower in mine anger. It's going to be the anger of the Lord, and great hailstones in my fury to consume it. The place is going to be completely consumed. That's why it's going to be a lake of fire here. Verse 14, so will I break down the wall that ye have dabbed with untempered mortar. The hopes and promises of the people is going to fall right along, with Babylon, which is likened unto that untempered mortar, and bring it down to the ground, so that the foundation thereof shall be discovered, and it shall fall, and ye shall be consumed in the midst thereof, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's when the people are going to know. Thy people will be willing in the day of thy power. When they see these things come to pass, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them, the scriptures say. Ezekiel 13 and 15, thus will I accomplish my wrath upon the wall, and upon them that have dabbed it with untempered mortar, and will say unto you, the wall is no more, neither they that dabbed it. So those that put their faith in Babylon, it's going to be no more. The scriptures say that how is the hammer of the whole earth, how is he cut asunder? Roughly paraphrasing. Meaning, how's the power of Babylon, its military might, power, and prowess over the nations, preeminence, how's it coming to naught? The scriptures say that, it's going to be said, is this the man that made the whole earth to shake? Esau, Edom, the Edomites, the wicked. So it's showing you that his systems, and the society that he set up is soon to fall. Thus saith the prophecies. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, verse 16. Ezekiel 13 and 16, and it reads, to wit, the prophets of Israel, which prophesy concerning Jerusalem, and which see visions of peace for her, and there is no peace, saith the Lord power. So there won't be no peace coming to this place. Because once again, Yahweh Shah said, think not that I've come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So that shows you that the falling of this place, America, is imminent. So no Dow Jones, soaring, or vaccine news, or president, or anything can stop the prophecies of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. The Lord said that his word would not come back unto him void. And thus is said, and thus is written, and thus shall it be. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who labor faithfully in His truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect, Habayath Madawada, the brothers laboring on the four corners of the earth to make their calling of election sure. And to the Akim Nakwathim who listen and believe on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, to you I say Shalom as well.